Hey guys, Thetcglover here, and let's discuss the ban list. Okay, so last night at 12 o'clock exactly, Konami decided to put the ban list, and obviously you've seen it because everyone in the game has seen it, but just in case you can't quite remember, I'll just quickly go over what's on the list. So banned is the two Morphing Jar 1 and 2. These were banned because Jackpot 7 had an OTK where you could use Morphing Jar 2 to send them straight to the graveyard super fast. It's not a very fun deck to play against, it's a bit unfair, so it makes sense that they got rid of it. The two cards are very good anyway. Limited Colt Soldier Wolfbark, Murmur Biscund, Rekindling and Infernity Barrier. Semi-limited Necrovase Hieratic Seal of Convocation, and unlimited Magical Stone Excavation and Primal Seed. Right, so let's have a little talk over the cards on the list, and overall I think the list is pretty good. I mean, like, Konami has to do the ban list a little bit different because we've had a very diverse format. Okay, there are some like regionals in America and other places as well where they've had like an excess of about 200 to 300 players at a regional, and this regional has had about 50 to 60 different decks. It's quite surprising. You think, oh, how can it be so many decks? There is just so many decks. I mean, a lot of people will play Fire Fist, Murmur, Gigas, but like there's just so much variety, and that Konami can't hit everything because it's generally what decks out of all the diversity are doing the best. That's all they can do, you know? I mean, some of the hits are kind of but it's worth talking about anyway. Anyway, so Colt Soldier Wolfbark, the card was used in Fire Fist and Fire Kings, and you could just spam the shit out of rank 4s, okay? That was kind of why it needed to get hit, because Wolfbark in itself, if you look at what the card is, a level 4 Fire Beast Warrior, it's so specific, but the fact is that the deck itself is so consistent, and Wolfbark allows you to make Arc and Exciton, and allows you to make some other stuff as well, and it's basically the rank 4s that are incredibly powerful now, and that means they had to hit Wolfbark because Wolfbark was enabling them to get so good, you know. I mean, Wolfbark is searchable, so the deck isn't completely dead. Fire Kings can still play around with it. I mean, it's more budget now because you only have to play one Wolfbark. Overall, I mean, people are dropping the deck because, you know, realistically it's not going to be as good as it used to be, so people are like, I'm not going to play a deck that got fucked over, okay? But I think in terms of the deck itself being a deck, existing as a deck, and people going, oh, Fire Fist is not a thing anymore, it is still a deck, okay? It's still good. I mean, Bear is still an amazing card. Wolfbark is still great, you know, but there's just no real way to recycle it. So you get that one-off thing, and then that's it. You have to commit more resources to make the rank 4s. So realistically, I don't see Fire Fist existing in the next format. Anyway, Mermail Abyssgund. This is a really iffy one. I think out of all the different hits on the list, this one is the most like, oh my god, what does this mean? From someone on the outside who doesn't play Mermails, they will look into it and they will be like, yeah, but Mermail Abyssgund, you know, it's like, it didn't really do anything because they could have hit Teus, or they could have hit Lind or Sphere, and, you know, that means they would have hit one of the crucial cards. But the fact is that Abyssgund, in some decks, is actually played at 2. Hoban plays it at 3. Other decks play it at 3, but some people play it at 2. So you don't have to run 3. But it is kind of implied that you must run at least 1 or 2, okay? Abyssgund is really important for the deck, and it's only really when you play it and you start to see how much extra effort that the deck has to put in to get back the gun so that you can do more stuff. Okay, this is the same exact thing as Wolfbark. Wolfbark and Abyssgund actually have exactly the same purpose. Okay, Wolfbark has an inbuilt summoning ability, so it can bring the other material and then make a rank 4. But Abyssgund allowed you to go Abyss Pike, Gund, get Turge, ditch Marksman, and then make a rank 4. So in essence, Gund and Wolfbark had almost exactly the same purpose. Okay, and I think they almost had the same attack as well. Yeah, so Abyssgund in the deck, now that it's a 1, you're basically like, okay, I'm going to Pike, Gund, oh shit, that you can't do that again. It's basically like, it turns the deck's rank 4 ability into a one-trick pony. And that's why I feel like Mermail is going to slowly disintegrate, and I feel like people are going to pick it up, and it's like, fine, you want to pick up the deck and play it. It's not bad, you know. It still has all the really good cards like Sphere and Lind, and Megalo is still there and everything like that. The deck is fine. You just have to. It's a bit more volatile in the sense that, you know, when you lose the Gund and the Gund's in the graveyard, getting it back is going to require you to neg yourself. So you can't just wait for another Gund and then start doing more shenanigans of Teus or, you know, with Tidal. Abyss Gund is now at 1, so you just really need to evaluate how much resource you need to put into getting it back. You're spending more time getting back the gun so you can do more shenanigans rather than actually trying to win the game. So that's how my opinion of Gund anyway. Anyway, so Rekindling, like, I don't know why they took 2 years to ban this or limit it. I mean, you know, basically it was giving Fire Kings a really good boost. Laval's were using it. Laval's is completely dead now basically because Rekindling needed to be at free. But Rekindling, inherently broken card. There are other cards which Konami have hit over the last couple of like ban lists, and it's like no one's playing this card. Why would we hit that? And it's like actually the card is a degenerate card. Like Gateway of the Six got banned because even though Six Samurais weren't doing anything, Gateway of the Six was a win more card in this, not win more, but it, you know, you drew it. If you drew it and you didn't get, and your opponent didn't have a way to stop it, you were just gaining too much advantage. You generally win that game. So it's not really fair. So Rekindling is the same thing. When you have Rekindling, you set your graveyard up and then you Rekindling, and it's like you shouldn't get all that power out of one card. And so putting it to 1 means, and the fact that it's not searchable either. Infernity Barrier. I was laughing at this one because I felt like Infernities were a degenerate, stupid deck, and I hate them. When I ever play them, I usually just scoop up game 1 and then just go straight to siding in Maxis and siding in hate cards, and then just starting off like that Soul Drain and things like that, whatever. So Infernity Barrier being limited basically kills the deck. It doesn't completely kill it. I mean, like, they might start getting back Infernity Launcher. They can still do some nice little spammy stuff, but Infernity Barrier, when you just search 3 of them, that meant that you could just literally just commit completely to the field and your opponent wouldn't have anything to do. They wouldn't have enough cards in their hands to deal with it. So Infernity weren't really doing anything, so I don't really know why they limited it, because I don't see them getting any more support in the near future. It's kind of an iffy one, but I mean, if they want to hit one of the most powerful negation cards in the game, then sure, whatever. Why not just hit Chariot? Why not just hit that new Necro Valley, Tombs of Necro Valley card? Why not just do that as well? So anyway, semi-limited Necroface and Hieratic Seal. My knowledge on Necroface is not really very in-depth, so I don't really want to talk about Necroface and miss points that, you know, I just know that Necroface being at 2 means that it's a lot more spammy and you guys do some little shenanigans, but things like Gold Sark is not at 3 anymore, so you know, I don't know if people are going to try and make Necroface a thing. Hieratic Seal Convocation at 2, yeah, it was at 2 before, and then they brought it back to 3. Hieratics became good again, so now they're bringing it back to 2. So they don't want Hieratics to be a thing. To be honest, you could still play the deck fine. Unlimited, Magical Stone Excavation, and Primal Seed. Both of these are just irrelevant, okay? If BLS was at 3, then Primal Seed at 3, you know, if there was a spell card that was worth recycling, then Primal Seed would be worth playing, you know, at 3 to see if you can actually get the combo off. But you need to have BLS on the field, so there's no real point. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. The ban list is good. I mean, it's a bit minimal because, you know, they want to push the next decks that are coming up. To be honest, I don't really know what they were trying to achieve. I think it caused a lot of salt. A lot of sodium chloride, yeah. It just... A lot of people were like, oh, my deck got hit. And it's like, yeah, well, you kind of did, because there's only like 2 or 3 decent decks in this format. And like a lot of people are going to go to Gear Gears, and Gear Gears are kind of slow because it takes them a turn to set up generally. You have to go set Gear Gear Armor, you have to go Gear Gear Arsenal Tribute. You know, you still have to do all that stuff. So it slows down the format a little bit. And obviously this ban list will last until July the 14th, because I believe that Nationals is happening on the 12th to the 13th of July, which means that it will come into the next ban list will come into effect the day afterwards. So we will get to play Nationals, well, Americans will, in this format, and so will the UK as well. We'll have to play, I think for our Nationals is in May. That'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't really think anything's going to change that much. Obviously, when Primal Origins comes out, it will change a lot of things, but to be honest, between now and Primal Origins, which is basically 2 months-ish, it will be a very stale-ish format. I mean, nothing's going to change, to be honest. Premium Gold will bring out Beelzebub, King of Diabolical Dragons, whatever the hell they called it, and that will be interesting to see how that changes the game a little bit. But to be honest, nothing really that effective. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the ban list. If you like the ban list, comment down below if you don't like the ban list or you like it. Whatever you feel about it, because it's kind of, some people like it, some people don't. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, the Thetcglover is out.